Hey guys, and welcome back to the Dumont Rumson restoration project. We got it working fairly well, at least with a test pattern in the last installment. But we've got issues with a hacked up speaker, and I don't seem to be able to tune below channel 4. So we're going to tackle those in this installment. We're going to start out by going to my storage locker because I have a couple Dumont clones out there, a Stromberg and a Crosley. And I haven't seen them in a while, but going by the photos I took when I got them, the Stromberg looks like it has a minty speaker in it. So I'm going to go and retrieve that, and maybe I can find a better eye-tube while I'm out there. When we get back, we'll tackle the Mallory Inductuner and see if we can get that behaving better. Well, I made the trip out to the storage unit. Oh, man. Have not seen the Stromberg in a while. I think it's back there. And the Crosley, I believe, is in the bottom shelf on that side. So to get at either one of them, I need to pull a whole bunch of stuff out. Yeah. Now, while out here, I also want to assess things. I do have another unit here, a smaller one, 10 by 10, because Life Storage was bought out by, I think, Public Storage, and they doubled their rates effectively. So I need to get rid of one of my units ASAP. So that'll be the smaller one, which actually has a bunch of furniture in it. I mean, I'll just throw this stuff away at some point because I'm paying way too much to store this stuff, more than it's worth. And then I got to seriously think about getting rid of some of this stuff. There is an early television swap meet in a few weeks in Ohio, so I'll probably be taking some of this stuff there and I'll just give it away. A lot of this stuff, picture tubes, nice Motorola picture tube got knocked. Empty Silvertone cabinet, empty Dumont doghouse cabinets. In other words, empty Bakelite Admiral console cabinet. In other words, there are odds and ends here. These are not like complete nice, ready-to-sell sets. They're extra parts. Protogram parts, spare Admiral power supplies, a back for something. I got a few extra backs in here. Picture tube. Very nice blonde Motorola. I think it's pristine. Screen for, well, there's my other Scott projection set. That's a disaster. Odds and ends of test equipment. Some stuff that I got mainly because it looked cool, like an ancient B&K TV analyst, an ancient Philco field strength meter. Actually, I'm going to take this home with me. I'm planning an upcoming series on making a home setup for distributing. Well, I'm going to talk about a lot of stuff. Basically, how to feed signals into vintage sets, including making a home transmitter setup. This, I can carry around the house and see how strong my transmitting signal is. I don't know how well it's calibrated, but I completely forgot I even had that. All right, enough distractions. Let's get to it. Oh, man. That's going to take a while to get to. Oh, sorry, one other unit I haven't seen in a while. Another piece of equipment that I think is pretty darn cool. It is an ancient Hickok color bar generator from the dawn of color TV in the 50s. This I do want to play around with. I'm sure it doesn't work very well. I'm sure it's very fiddly. There are so many adjustments you need to make on it. All of these things are trimmers, controls. Yeah. No, and it smells delightful inside. Another day. few other items of interest. That is a 16-inch all-glass CRT, but I don't think it would work too well in a porthole because it is a short deflection angle. Well, that is a 16 EP4, and I think it's still good, or at least it was when I put it into storage, because my porthole set has a dead 16 EP4, and I scavenged that one to put in it. And more picture tubes and CRTs everywhere. And I finally found the Stromberg. Yeah, it is down there. It's about as far away, as inaccessible as anything could possibly be in here. So, still got to move a few more things, but we're almost there. And there she is. Be nice if there was a little more light down in here. So there is my... Oh, you can. Okay, never mind. There we go. Didn't realize I could put my phone light on when I was recording. Okay, so there's my Stromberg Carlson TC10. And there is my TS12, whatever the heck they call it. At least I got some room to work now with a bunch of consoles, so able to slide it out, spin it around, and no eye tube. I think it's down inside there. Yeah. Well, I was able to extract a very, very nice looking speaker from the Stromberg Carlson. Has the right connector, everything. So we'll hear that in a bit. And I also dug up another eye tube, which I have installed in the set, and we will see how that works in a moment as well. And I brought home some other goodies with me. Talk about those in a separate video. Well, I asked around online for help about my tuning situation, and I got some responses. First, from a guy who's worked on a few of these, that you can pop these sliders out, and he says he does that to clean them. And I got triggered a memory. The Stromberg Carlson we were just looking at out in the garage, I remember when I got it, I powered it up and I couldn't get reception, but I got a raster. Well, later on, off screen, I did play around with it, and I got a raster. And to do that, I had to muck around with one of the sliders because it was loose. So, yeah, these do pop out. Not so easy to do, but basically you put some pressure on an end with a toothpick or a flat blade screwdriver, and you can pop them out and pop them back in. But they're thin. I think they're silver plated brass or something like that, so I'm not crazy about doing that. Somebody else said they think that there's an easy way to pop the shaft out, but I tried without any luck. I loosened up that nut. There's a bearing in there, and it looks like you have to undo. I mean, I've seen plenty of these in conventional radiator tuners, and you have to undo a screw at the end, and the nut's there to adjust to provide tension. But that screw on the end, it looks more like it was kind of smashed in there, like peened over, kind of like it's not meant to ever come out again. So that's not really doing it for me. And then I got another suggestion. It's something that has been staring me in the face. I never would have noticed, or hadn't noticed, never would have occurred to me to do. That, the stop, it's got a hexagonal end. But guess what? You can take it out. You can put a wrench on there and unscrew it and remove it. So I can get this all the way to the extent that it's at, and then turn it one more time, and then put the stop back in. So that's what we're going to do. It could be just that easy. Begs the question, how did it get messed up in the first place? I don't know. There are trimmers down below for the local oscillator and for these guys. But you have to get at it from the other side of the tuner, which means you have to mount it from the chassis, which means you got to disconnect everything from the chassis and take it out. I don't want to do that. Okay, no, it's not that easy. There's a nut and a washer on the other side, and when you take that out, loosen it, they just fall down inside behind this giant gear. So I'm screwed right now. I can't put it back together. I got to take the whole front of this off, which might not be too horrible. Let's use a couple Phillips screws here. some on the other side. To get at those, I got to take this faceplate off. Otherwise, I got to disassemble the front of this, but it might not be that horrible. At least to take this part off. I'm not sure how to get this gear off. Kind of regret doing that, but, well, it is what it is. Well, one good thing so far is that a good chunk of this mechanism comes out in one piece. Dial string and all, so I don't have to mess with that. We will just very carefully put that aside, and we can clean it and we can lube it. So what's left is this. And that stop is right about there. And there's a nut and a locking washer that are down behind that. So I got 2 more screws to take out here. I had to remove that other piece to get at these 2, which will take this off. And I don't know what's holding this on. Oh, now I see. Okay, there's a couple Allen screws. So by the time I take this off, I could have not bothered with the stop, because then I can rotate this whole gear thing around. That doesn't look actually too horrific to remove, and then again we can clean it and lube it up. So in the end, we might have one very clean, lubed, fully functioning, awesome tuner. That's the goal. And finally, there it is. So I can put a lock washer and a nut back on that, and then put everything back together. Well, that was an unexpected adventure, but I got it all back together, and it is now shifted over, run rotation past the stop. So, did it accomplish anything? Yeah, kinda. So I've got an FM radio mode right now. And I hooked up the speaker I got out of the storage locker. And it is, the FM band is where it should be. Now I don't have much of an antenna hooked up to it, just some alligator clips. And it occurred to me that's going to be an issue if you hook up, say, a converter box to the coax input on the back. The FM radio is not going to work because you don't have an antenna. If you look at an antenna for like FM radio, then how are you going to feed a video signal in? So, you know, I think the main focus should be on it working as a TV, but yeah, the radio part does work, and it's in the right place.
I get to just do a 480 show, and you know we all get to.
This is the eye tube I got out of my storage locker. It's actually even dimmer than the one I had in there previously, so like I said, they're hard to come by. Alright, so what about receiving channel 3 and 4? Alright, so I'm now feeding in channel 4. So can we receive it, and where does it land in the dial? It's got the FM band here. Tune down. Starting to get something. So it's coming in at channel 6. Okay, but it is coming in. Now let's do channel 3. So let's go down and down. We're starting to get something. Coming in. And it's good around channel 5, which makes sense. They're one channel apart. But here's what's odd. If I keep going down, we still see it, we still see it, we still see it, we still see it. All the way down at the bottom. Now, how about channel 2? So here's channel 2 coming in. Tune down, down, down. Can't quite get there. Can't quite get there. So maybe another half turn would have done it. But why is this so goofy? Why are things so spread out? Like with channel 3, why is it over this huge range? Well, I think it's because of the this thing right here. So what am I talking about? Well, let's take a look at this dial. Each TV station is allocated 6 megahertz. So here we have 7 through 13. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? That's 7 stations. 6 megahertz each. We're turning 42 megahertz in that little gap. Now let's look at FM radio. 88 to 108. How much is that? 20 megahertz. So 42 megahertz, 20 megahertz. And over here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 30 megahertz, 20, 42, and then a bit in here. So how do they do that? Because the dial, the knob just turns and turns and turns. We got gears behind it. How do you get stretches and compressions in the action? Behind this, there is an irregularly shaped piece of metal. So yeah, this is turning continuously linear, and it's going right to these gears and right to this. But the dial pointer moves. So here it's really slow. And slow, slow, slow. Here you can see that piece of metal coming out here. It's irregularly shaped, got a little point on it there. Still slow. Now it's moving fast. This should not be happening right here. It should be happening between here and here or there. And I expect between this section and this section are a little bit different too. So it's still moving fast, right? And it slows down here. I got to move the whole thing over a bit, and I think that will take care of the issue with channel 3 being spread out so far. But that's enough for right now. I gotta wrap my head around that and tinker with it, so I'm gonna leave you off with that to think about. It's gonna be it for now. Thanks for watching.